Now, I'm going to address a pervasive myth that we hear all the time in relation to communication skills, and it's this. People are either good at presenting or they're not. So in other words, the presumption that some people are just better at this than others. Maybe they are born with charisma and they just seem to find it easier than others to communicate and connect with their audience. Now, this myth is damaging because it prevents people from stepping up and taking opportunities to showcase not only themselves, but also the expertise that they've often spent years acquiring. Now, for sure, I'm not going to deny that when some people present content, it is hard to look away. They seem to suck you in a way that's just hard to explain. But what might surprise you is that they are using methodology. And the exciting news is that this method can be learned by everyone, including yourself, so we can all become engaging, charismatic presenters. So Colin James has spent the last 30 years studying what it is that makes certain communicators more compelling than others. So he looked at actors, comedians, political leaders, corporate leaders, and said, what are they doing? What are the common traits that are evident here? And he came up with 6. And these 6 are an acronym called P.A.V.E.R.S. P, Physiology, A, Auditory, V, Visual Aids, E, Energy, R, Relationship, and S for Story. So we'll run through each of these 6 elements in turn and just give you an idea of one tip in each category that can immediately start to elevate your delivery methodology. Let's start firstly with physiology. So we're going to talk here about the difference between a physiology of excellence, where you appear to be confident, and a physiology which does not demonstrate confidence. Now, the former requires you to sit or stand upright, sitting as tall as you can, almost like you're pulling a rope through your body, shoulders back, head upright, leaning in towards your audience. The second, the posture that can demonstrate lack of confidence, is of course to contract your body language, to maybe cross your arms, to look down a lot, to avoid making eye contact with your audience. So the contrast between the physiology of excellence and the physiology of somebody who's nervous is quite striking. So we suggest that you start to work on this straight away. Now, auditory, this is the vocal experience for the audience. So what are the words that you use and what is the tonality that you use to share those words? Now, a simple thing like we know that a voice that is low and slow carries more authority. If you are nervous, what we've noticed is that the voice tends to speed up and people they machine gun their way through their content. And that is signaling to the audience that you are nervous, that you can't wait to get your content out of the way and sit back down again. So remember, a voice that's low and slow will ensure that the audience sees you as confident. Visual aids. Well, of course, you are the main visual aid. So the biggest mistake you can make is to not show yourself, to hide behind a lectern so you can't use any of your physiology, or even worse, if you're in a virtual meeting, to hide behind a PowerPoint deck. So often we see people dialing into meetings and, I mean, when you don't have your camera on, you're effectively talking to your audience like this. It's ridiculous to think that you can connect and have any sense of authority with an audience who cannot see you. So make sure that your main visual aid, is visible at all times. Energy. Now, this is an interesting one. It's the hardest to identify. It's probably the most esoteric of all, but it's the most important in a way. So setting an intention as to what energy you want to create in the room. Are you trying to create an energy of excitement, anticipation, vitalization in the room? Or alternatively, are you trying to challenge? Are you trying to disturb? Are you trying to discombobulate your audience a little bit? Setting that intention before you start will impact everything that you do. It will impact your physiology, your voice, your tonality. So get very clear and intentional on good energy. Now, we've probably all experienced energy thieves, the people that will come into a room and they will suck the energy straight out of a room. So let's not be that person. Let's be the person that makes a room better as a result of our presence. Relationship. Now, there are so many techniques here to quickly build rapport and trust with an audience, to create opportunities for interaction and dialogue. A simple one, though, is to know your audience well. So do your research before you enter the room. If you are able to demonstrate that you have some common ground with your audience and that you understand their position, that you've sat in their seat for at least for a moment and considered what their concerns might be, and you've tailored your content to them, that will instantly elevate your ability to connect with your audience and build relationship. And finally, let's think about story. Now, story is really the glue that holds everything together. We are hardwired to enjoy stories. We lean into them. I can guarantee that you've probably never left a conference and thought afterwards, man, I'd love to get hold of slide 37 on day 2. That was just a cracker. But you may well remember stories. You'll remember anecdotes. You'll remember tales that people have shared, because those are the things that become memorable and connect with your audience. All of those elements: physiology, auditory, visual aids, energy, relationship, and story. All 6 of those elements will elevate your ability to engage your audience and to become truly compelling in their eyes.